You're listening to Catholic Family Podcast.
Hi, I'm Lisa Davis, and I'm back for another... Hi, everyone. This is Lisa Davis, cradle Catholic, mom of 10, grandma of 11, with 3 grandkids on the way. It was suggested to me that it might be a good idea for an old combat veteran of Catholic motherhood to share some of the strategy and resources she's collected over the years. For those who don't know me, though, here's a short resume for you, explaining how I've gathered up a fairly extensive battle plan. First of all, I was raised Catholic by parents who never strayed from the true church and had the benefit of their examples. I learned everything foundational from them. They sent me and my brothers and sisters to Catholic schools where we received the influence of many outstanding religious, one of which was Sister Rita Lawrence, a dynamo of an educator who mentored me after I graduated from high school, teaching me how to teach and how to handle a classroom with many different ages of children. I owe to Sister Rita a huge debt of gratitude, and God bless her dear soul. I went to college after teaching at our parish school for, it was either 2 or 3 years now. It's funny how you forget those things. And in college, I learned exactly what not to do. Then I married my husband, Dan. I became a mom, and the real learning started then. Even though I started out motherhood with a tank full of theories, I'm the first to admit I had more false starts, bad ideas, and dropped balls than I can recount. You've heard of practice pancakes. Yeah, well, we had a few. And theory is one thing. Real life is something else entirely. By the grace of God, though, we did manage to learn from our mistakes, and by the influence of the many stellar, successful Catholic families we've been honored to know through the years. We've also been blessed by the influence of many religious priests and seminarians, but especially the teaching sisters in our lives. For all these blessings, we're truly thankful, and we like to give back something by sharing some of the tools in our arsenal. So, for ideas to organize or just corral either kids or things, for ways of increasing devotion in your children and in yourself, for finding peace of soul or even just a minute of quiet when it seems an impossible goal, for your consideration, today, for a 2-minute tip, I give you church seating, Phalanx versus linear tactics. Have you noticed how almost all families sit side by side down a pew in a long, singular line? It's instinct, I think, to do this. But have you noticed how teaching sisters, very often, if they can at least, line up the class in a pew or two in the front and then sit behind them? There's a reason for that, and it's simple and obvious. You know it, moms. You can't see the kids at the end of the pew. And if you can see that they are acting up way down there, it's problematic, if not impossible, to do anything about it, especially if it happens during the consecration. You all know what I'm talking about. This problem can be circumvented, of course, if you have 2 adults and a couple trustworthy older kids to place strategically through the line of possible troublemakers down the pew. We were fortunate when we had 5 or 6 children under the age of 12 to sit with my dad and my sister at Mass. And this is a shout out to my sister, Linda. Thank you, Linda, who helped us keep things under control. First, this is how it lined up. It was granddad, little kid, mom with a baby next to a little kid, dad, kid, and then Aunt Linda on the end, and another kid. You get the idea. But if you have 6 kids at a weekday Mass and it's just you, Mom, what do you do? Or even if there's 2 of you with 6 small children, what do you do? I'll tell you what you do. You form a phalanx. Unlike the crazy British tactic of lining up in a straight line and running at the enemy shooting, a phalanx is the way smarter tactical move of the ancient Greeks, wherein a closely packed square of soldiers approach the enemy from beneath the protection of their overlapped shields, threw spears, covered their heads again, and so on, and until they hopefully won. Spears and shields, however, are beside the point. I want you to think of the shape of a phalanx and your ability to control your troops from behind, moms, just like a general. If you're outnumbered especially, place a child or 2 on either side of you, then line up the rest of the kids in front of you. They'll probably hate it. They can't get away with anything, but you are in the perfect position to train them to behave properly and respectfully with ease and discretion, and knowing you are hovering there behind them will have a quelling effect, as you might imagine. Make no mistake, a little fear of the corner of your mom's missile being poked in your back is a great way to learn self-discipline. And it's a simple fact of human nature that self-discipline almost always comes before devotion, and piety will kick in naturally. One of the most important things we can teach our children is the ability to sit still. This is not an overnight thing for most children, mind you, but they do need to know that you expect it of them before the Blessed Sacrament, before they become to expect it of themselves. Trust me when I say this is an effective maneuver. Catholic sisters of old knew it. The ancient Greeks knew it. You need to try the Phalanx. Life is a battle, friends. Work, fight, and learn to win it. Please leave comments, ideas, tips, tricks, or requests in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Signing off, this is Lisa.
You've been listening to the Catholic Family Podcast. If you enjoyed this show, please share it with your friends and family. You can support the production on Patreon and PayPal, and you can reach Kevin at kevin89davis@gmail.com. Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God.